My name is Khadija Ba. I am an MIT student. I'm very interested in the fintech space on the continent.
Awesome. I'm Tolu Ladele. I'm also an MIT candidate, an MBA candidate at MIT. And I have background in the continent in financial services, also within fintech. So I'm really interested in learning more about what's happening, what's new on the continent right now. Yeah.
And can you guys just tell me why are we here at the African Summit today?
I guess just sort of piggybacking what I just said. There's a lot going on within fintech around the world, but there's even a lot more going on within fintech in Africa. I believe that there's a lot of development and opportunities for growth there, and I think this summit just kind of bringing everyone, different stakeholders around the ecosystem, is a great way to learn from each other, but also to contribute to sort of shaping the future of Africa fintech.
Very similar to Tolu. I'm very interested in fintech on the continent. I'm looking to start my venture as well, specifically in the Francophone Africa region. So I was very curious to know who's going to be here, what are people doing, what are the trends, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, what to look out for. So I think that's why I just wanted to make sure that I kind of was exposed to the different things that were happening in this space and on the continent as well.
So you said that you all wanted to be exposed to all the opportunities that's here. Do you think the African Fintech is Summit towards anyone who wants to entrepreneurs who want to start a business and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I think it's good to be surrounded by people who are in this space. I think you learn a lot from them. You learn from what they've done before, what they're doing now. I've learned a lot just for the past hour and a half that I've been here already, just by interacting with people who've worked in this space. And I think it's also a good way to get to meet people who will help you get there as well. You cannot get there alone. So who are the people that you need to meet who will help you figure out your business model if you're very early stage, or who would help you later on become partners, I think.
Yeah, I would just add on top of that, just to say, I think the summit does a good job of bringing different stakeholders from government to venture to entrepreneurs and just people within the space. So I think depending on whoever you are, there is someone here that you can find value from at the summit.
So you mentioned that you were into finance and stuff like that. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I worked in banking within the African continent, but more focused around how you manage investments at the start of my career. But about a year and a half ago, prior to joining or going to business school, I worked with a super early stage startup out of Nigeria I was focused on cross-border payments, digital payments for the cross-border economy for the African continent. And I think I spent a lot of time trying to find a solution. Coming here, also, I've had the opportunity to meet one or two people who are also within that space. It shows that there's really a problem to solve and there's a lot of value to add. And that's still something I'm looking to continue to build my interest in and find more opportunities to add value to the ecosystem.
And for upcoming entrepreneurs like you guys, what advice would you give others that want to follow in the same footsteps as you?
I would say that definitely spend a lot of time asking questions. It's great to innovate, but you also want to understand the problem that you're looking to solve, understand the market, especially when you think about the African continent. The markets, as close as they are also still very different in the way that they operate. So as you kind of define what your scope is, try to understand, ask a lot of questions as a starting point, but also leverage a lot, the support within the ecosystem, make connections. Conferences like this are places where you can start.
I would say definitely asking questions, but I would say as well just start. I think there's often this fear paralysis that happens when it comes to entrepreneurship because it's just a big risk. I think for all of us and a lot of people even in our school who are considering entrepreneurship, it's the risk to say I'm not going to get a stable job, and then just rather do a fintech startup which may or may not work. So I would say just start. Do your PMR, get to know your customers, what are their needs, what solutions can be provided, what's in the market, what's not in the market. I think for me specifically being in Francophone Africa, it's typically the side of the continent where there are less things things happening, changing now rapidly, but just historically there haven't been a lot of movement, or I would say as much as Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa and all. So I'd say just start. There will be a path for you there, and if not, then you can just fail fast and then start again.
All right, thank you so much, ladies, and I hope you guys have a good one.
Thank you so much. Thank you.